YouTube video?
No. I don't need an intro.
My sister's always. That's canceled. What is up, YouTube? Right here, we're learning about dot diagrams. This is the class right here. Y'all say what's up. All right. How do you zoom in, Miss Wall? Anyway, this is my teacher, Miss Wall. You already know.
Put that down. Surrounded by stupid every day. All right. So when you look at the periodic table, at this point, I'm assuming that everybody can look at the groups on the periodic table and can do that, right? I know you do not need to write that. I'm just pointing it out. So if we look up an element, okay, and we look up sulfur. Sulfur has how many outer shell electrons? So we can all leave this for a second, get rid of that. I'm going to change the orientation for a second, extend that. So we can all look up sulfur, okay? We can all say sulfur is right here, right? Yeah. And so sulfur would have how many electrons? 6. Now, sulfur, I want you to envision in your mind, I don't want you to actually do this, but I want you to envision there are how many sides around sulfur? There'd be how many sides? 4. I don't want you to draw a box, okay? I just want you to envision 4 sides. All right, so when you draw your 6 dots, you can draw 2, 2, and 2. Doesn't matter which side they're on. Or you can draw, change my color here. All right, you can draw 2, 2, and you could split one and have it like that. It doesn't matter how you draw it as long as it has how many electrons? 6. Okay? Now, if you were in chemistry, you'd have to know which one is correct. But in physical science, you just have to be able to tell that sulfur has how many electrons? 6. This one is correct. This one is not. Okay? For physical science, though, it doesn't matter. Okay? You only have to be able to tell that sulfur has how many electrons? 6. Okay? That's all that's important for our course. It does not matter how it looks, as long as it has 6. So for like aluminum, a minute ago, I drew it as Al has how many dots around it? 3. And I drew them this way. You could just as easily have said Al with 1, 2, 3 dots that way. Both of them have 3 dots. There's nothing wrong with either way to draw. Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Okay. You draw those 3. Let me change this one. We already did a little bit. All right. You draw those 3. And then we're going to talk about oxidation numbers so we can do names. Right.
Get the banana.
So eat the banana.
Why?
Eat it.
Oh, my crackers. Give me have my water.
We see it, Mario.
No.
Banana.
You open it from that way.
Yeah, everyone opens it that way.
I know.
We don't open it this way because it's not
I don't open it that way.
Do it.
I don't open it that way.
Don't bite into it. Do it for the crowd.
I don't know that side. I just. That's what they do.
That's not sanitary.
It's not sanitary. Don't do that.
The scissors been everywhere.
It's been in places you don't.
Don't open it with it like this.
I can never open it like that. That's why I don't open it like that because I don't like
Hey, like
that.
this. But from the side.
Oh my God! I would even that like that.
All right, we got them done? You are not right.
You cut it off. It's so big. I don't know if she wanted it. Should just go in there.
No,
Right?
it's
The head's gonna fall off.
It
That
does. That's why I think about it like that.
looks stupid. That's stupid. I take off that.
I'll take that part off too.
That's why I don't open it like that. 'Cause once I get to the bottom, it's a big chunk.
It's all your cool.
Let me eat my banana.
I like cream as well. So
How y'all eat your banana?
We'll just wait for you.
Stop doing that. It's irritating.
Hey, you want to draw sodium?
Me?
So draw.
No,
What's your brother? You want it? Because it's gay if I do it.
Why don't you just break it off?
Nah, bro. I ain't never heard that Apple ringtone, bro.
Oh my god.
I never heard that. I feel like your iPhone.
Is that what?
I feel like your iPhone's playing now.
Why?
I never heard that.
They have different ringtones and stuff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, well, YouTube prank. All right, YouTube. We're gonna do a prank today. We're gonna pull the fire alarm.
That is so aggravating. Stop.
All right, who else we got?
Miss Brown.
Jay, you doing the last?
Miss Brown's in Hawaii, but I'll do it. Cause he's nice. And just do 5. Get it. Najee.
Y'all eat the peel?
What? It's ugly. It's ugly. Okay. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Do it.
No, it's
You will.
Will you
I know,
stop, Miss Brown? Don't erase my dots.
Your mouth's gonna taste a lot of shit.
That's an eraser.
Alright, it's like got parasites and shit. Probably.
What spiders can be in bananas?
5.
I didn't know I could bring that one. I gave
That is ugly. See, she is being extra. You too. 1,
He's just one period.
2. Will you stop?
So, Miss Wall, are you down with the YouTube prank?
Nope.
Why not?
I wanna do it.
Because we're gonna pull the fire alarm.
Okay.
Someone does that yet?
Yeah, I did it in elementary school. I didn't need to do like elementary school. I was
We're
just
gonna
messing
pull
up
it,
the
then we're
thing.
gonna call it.
And I'm gonna do it again.
We have a viewer.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Sit down.
All right, are there questions about how to do that on the quiz later this week? Yeah, we'll have a quiz on this later this week. So can we draw dot diagrams?
Yes.
Sally, you feel okay about them?
Yes.
Now, what about you and Elizabeth? Feel okay about them? All right. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. Where's the pen?
No.
Where'd you put the pen?
I don't know. It's a lot. Oh, how did you get that? How? I was in general time.
It was on your
All right. So we have to find oxidation numbers to write formulas today.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
You want us to draw that out?
Yep. Some of you might remember doing things like this had a 1 and this had a 2, crisscrossing from middle school. Anybody remember doing anything like that in middle school?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we're going today.
We're going to middle school?
No, we're going back to something you should have learned in middle school.
Let's go down.
Now, you got to draw that.
That's why we should go down here.
I haven't been to middle school other than Jackson Academy in years. And the only person I have down there right now is Joseph, and I'm not making the effort.
Probably skip it.
Can I go take work down there?
I said it with Mr. Pittman earlier when I saw him.
In the basement and stuff.
I said all the stuff he refused to do last week.
They said they stopped. I think they're stopping it like next year.
I don't know, they get rid of it.
Wall,
Yes, ma'am.
can I see Tyler and guidance?
Sure. He's on his way.
They're gonna tell you that you cannot be.
They're going to tell him what?
Did you sign up for band?
No.
I was like, well, I don't know that.
What?
In Nigeria, you cannot sign up for band.
What do they call me?
They told you what?
Yeah, well,
Did they call him the guidance? Yeah.
he basically
Oh,
told me
they about to
that
say
I
why your
can't be
grades
band
so
because I'm
low.
already
I'm like,
in
bro, I've been
auxiliary.
having a hard
Because you're already what?
In auxiliary.
Miss Floyd came
So
in.
do you not play an instrument?
I did. So he said it's really no point unless like the whole band was in one class.
Wish me
They're not gonna
luck.
be biologics.
So you just can't be in a class. Because like you already are in
Oh, so you just go to practice after school?
a band. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
an easy class to have.
I got you.
Lolly doesn't do
How's Lolly play? You don't know what instrument your girlfriend
It's
plays?
a bunch of instruments, all right? There's
Is
like,
it the flute?
yeah.
How do I know that?
'Cause I didn't know if it was the flute or the clarinet. I don't know instruments. I know like there's a guitar and drums. I know that. And like violin.
Guitar. Guitar.
I mean,
It's a
I know
better
the
instrument than my
bands,
son
like,
plays.
I know those. Like, that's what I'm saying. I know the keyboard.
Oh, she comes in with a guitar.
Beats the tuba. All right, everybody caught up? All right, so tell me this. How many electrons can group one lose or gain? It will lose one, right? All right, group two. We'll lose two. This is where our oxidation numbers come from, which is why I'm writing these up here again. Group 13 will do what?
Lose. I mean, yeah, lose.
Group 14 will lose or gain 4. Group 15 will gain 3. Group 16 will gain 2. Group 17 will gain 1. And group 18 will neither. Okay, I'm just going to write neither or not. Either one. Now, from that is where our oxidation numbers come from. Okay? This looks really familiar, right? Okay.
It's the same thing.
So when we lose one, the oxidation number is +1. Lose means positive. Okay.
It's gonna be a switch.
Yes. Okay. 1 electron means 1. So what will the oxidation number be for group 2? +2. So group 13's oxidation number will be what? +3. So what happens when I get to group 14 and it says lose or gain?
Nothing.
0. Oh, is it?
Lose means what? Lose means what?
What?
So what do you suppose gain means? -4. So gain will be -3. Gain will be -2, -1. And now with it being neither or not losing any, it'll be what? It'll be 0. You really put up that phone so you can pay attention. Huh?
You got a broom?
Probably.
Yeah, why?
Because there was something back here and I stepped on it.
What did you step on? Like food?
Yeah.
Pull out a gun.
Oh, yeah. I was sorry.
I'm quick at like.
Yeah.
Here. Did you say pull out a gun? Now, this is how much schools have changed since I was in high school. Now, you have to remember, I graduated in 1987.
Dang.
I know, that's a really long time ago. But my high school history teacher was a Civil War buff. So he had all kinds of Civil War artifacts, including musket rifles. So he brought an actual 1860-something musket rifle and fired it in class without the musket ball.
Oh.
Can you imagine doing that today?
Or imagine robbing somebody with
What?
that.
Did he
You
not get in
somebody out
trouble?
like, boom. Feel like it's
Did he not get in trouble?
No, that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about a long musket
So, like,
rifle.
what he do? Aim the ceiling or something?
No, he just shot it across the room. I mean, he filled it with black powder and fired it. And the funniest part was there was a kid who was asleep in class, and he fired that. That kid shot straight up out of his chair. He also had shackles, those leg irons, and somebody one day had fallen asleep. He shackled him to his desk. The kid got up to leave class. Whoa! Fell down. All right? I was like, dang. I didn't fall asleep in that class ever. I never knew what was going to happen in there. All right. So, let's say that you want to find the oxidation number of. All right? Because we're going to need to find these in order to write formulas in a minute. We're going to find it for SOR, for F, for O, for N, for K. All right? You got a periodic table handy? You're going to need one all day. So if you don't have one, find one.
I got one.
That's fine, as long as you can see it. I don't care as long as you got one you can work with. All right, what is SR's oxidation number? Tell me the oxidation number, Esau. It's 38. Plus 2. Everybody with Esella on plus 2?
We need a calculator.
No, we don't need a calculator all day. All right. Fluorine. What's the oxidation number for fluorine? It's number 9. What is it, Urelli?
7.
Oxidation numbers, not outer shell electrons. I'm going. Where is fluorine in this grouping? What group is it in? So what is its oxidation number? -1. All right. What's oxygen's, Otanel? -2. What's nitrogen, Nigella?
No. No, add 5. Wow. Wait. Plus 3. Wait. No. Everybody quiet. Plus 3. No, -3 because it's opposite.
Oh my God.
She got it.
All right. What's potassium, Markel? What? And you can just write 1. I tend to emphasize and write +1, but as long as you write 1, it's okay. All right, now we're going to practice. All right, Mario, be my able-bodied assistant. Get one of those hip flashes.
I got it.
Huh?
I got a broken leg.
Your leg is not broke. Get them hand out those papers. Before I break your leg.
Thank you.
That's funny. She's a She's coming. He was like, okay. How she do her leg, Scary movie. No, you bet some break your legs like that. They go like break your legs. You know, Insidious with her legs, both her legs. In the movie theater, Sarah Connor was singing.
So what can't you
They
do?
came out
No, I'm not being mad.
Everybody being mad? What is
Like
it?
break your legs.
I used to.
Wow.
Go. Yes, ma'am.
Markel, Marshall, come together.
Sure.
Dang, you want the whole class?
Take that. All right, so on the paper you have. All right, let's look at calcium. All right, find the line that says calcium. Calcium has what atomic number?
1.
I know y'all didn't say 1.
I said 20.
I know, y'all had the right answer over here. That side over there I'm worried about. Okay? So the atomic number is 20. All right, so how many protons would it have? 20. How many electrons would it have? How many valence electrons would it have?
2.
It would have 2 because it's in what group? It's in 2. All right, skip the column that says type of ion for just a second. All right, what's its oxidation number? All right, if it's here, it's got an oxidation number of what? +2. Everybody with us on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what ion will it form if it's a +2? Is the ion plus or minus? Is it a positive ion or is it a negative ion?
Negative. Positive.
Okay, guys.
I should have understood.
I want you to think about this logically. Think about math class. If you form a positive ion, which is a +2 right there, it says +2, right? Is that a positive number or a negative number? It's obviously a positive number. So is it a positive ion or a negative ion? It's a positive because you made a positive number. If the oxidation number is a negative number, then it would be what kind of ion? It would be a negative ion. Okay, so fill in the type of ion after you get the oxidation number. So if it's positive, then it's a positive ion. If it's negative, then it's a negative ion. Okay? If you get 0, what kind of ion is it?
0.
It's just nothing. It has no ion. You put a dash or a line or an MA. Put my unstaplinator up.
As a staple.
Really? Can I unstaple stuff?
No, it's called staple remover. But some freshman came over one day and asked me if I could have the unstaplinator.
Was it Doofenshmirtz?
Huh?
Was it Doofenshmirtz who had?
I don't remember. Some dude out of Bostic's class came over and asked me for
It's
it.
just one.
Did you give Tyler a paper?
Yeah.
He asked on his desk. What is it you don't understand?
Asking what.
Okay, so we did calcium together. So find the line that says calcium. What's calcium's atomic number? You need a periodic table.
20.
You leave your phone, put up your marker.
20.
20. All right, how many protons do you have?
Not sure.
What do we know about atomic number of protons? Great, so you and I will do some marker. How about no? What do we know about atomic number of protons?
Sure. I didn't do that.
They're the same thing. 20 protons. What do we know about protons and electrons? No.
Wait, let's see it again.
What do we know about protons and electrons?
Yeah.
No. What do we know about protons and electrons? Najee, tell Tyler what we know about protons and electrons.
Oh, they're the same.
They're the same.
As the same.
Okay. So how many valence electrons does group 2 have? No.
What is it?
You need to come to school more often.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong now?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You got to look at the group to find out the valence electrons. The green is valence electrons.
Oh, yeah.
The blue is the oxidation number.
It's 2, right?
Yes, there's 2 valence electrons.
See, I ain't been here in 3 days. You gotta like.
No, I got no time for it. I've been here in 3 days. All right, so what's the oxidation number for group 2? What's it say up there in blue? For group 2,
No, 2.
it says +2. So this is the oxidation number, +2.
Plus 2.
So if it's +2, what kind of ion does it form? Does it form a positive or a negative? So you put positive in the type of ion. Okay, do some others.
Okay, I got it now.
All right, who else is struggling?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Magnitude.
Which one?
Can I get some
Where
water?
is this?
Oh.
I got
Wait,
it.
that's why I got a question.
Yeah.
Swap.
Carter?
Where do you get that
Positive and
from?
negative. What about?
I can get some water.
Yes. What's wrong? Huh? What's wrong? It's blank. You need help? Work a little faster. That does not look like a calculator. Just saying.
I was multi-voice.
No, you're not. Exactly. I haven't taken this
I
whole
learned
class
that.
and I know that too.
She told us we're not allowed to say that.
Exactly. You're not multitasking, you're switch tasking. Could you sit a little further away?
Yeah.
It bothers me.
Everything bothers you.
I'm aware.
Miss Wallen
I've
World.
been told that before. Yes, dear, what is the question?
I learned it the second day I learned
How it
Everything
works.
bothers her.
it. Yeah.
Don't stop. Just because you did one line doesn't mean you finished.
Where's Helium?
Helium is number 2 up there.
It's small.
Yes, you're right.
I'm her.
You just follow Mario's footsteps and fail.
Oh, you had to feel chemistry.
Mario knows how to do this because he's already had chemistry. You could have drug his sorry butt class, you passed.
Could have drove.
You stay active today? Where's
Yep,
Helium?
to about 420.
The Venus number 5.
Uh-huh. No. See the green up there? Those are valence electrons. Okay? So what group is that element in? Oh, you're talking about helium?
The food.
Oh, I thought you were
God,
doing calcium. Yes. You can put 8 there, but that one's actually an exception. It only has 2 electrons in the, it only has a total of 2 electrons, so it can't have 8 in the outer shell. No, it'll only have 2. That was an exception. But if you put 8, I will penalize you. Yeah. What? We've got an electron. Yep. Good. No. Get the oxidation number first before you fill that in. So what oxidation number does it have? Okay. Yeah. Good. Keep going.
And then +1?
Yeah. Very good. Do another row.
Okay.
Don't
Is this
stop.
correct so far?
Put your pencil down and be like, oh, I'm good. I did one line. Shut up, Mario.
It's okay. That's my love.
Thank you.
Hi, take your hat off.
You take band too? You gonna take band too?
I'm not even gonna be.
What?
I'm not gonna be there.
What are you gonna be?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Well, now you're
Oh yeah, I might move too.
She's just crushed.
She's just.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
But this one, I got a 0, right?
What? Helium?
Yeah.
Yes. What school are you going to in Winston? Just moving?
Park.
Here. Why are you moving?
What's been wrong with
Wow.
This is the last year that this.
I've been here 28 years.
Oh,
Hi, Ro.
gonna ever come out of here.
I lived in Lexington until I bought a house in 98. That was a long time ago.
Where are you going, Charlotte or something?
I was born in upstate New York, but I've lived in North Carolina since 76.
So,
My mom was.
What happened?
where's Bear Red Lion?
I had started school up there, so I have a sort of a jacked up accent. My sister had not started school, so hers is truly southern. Every now and then someone will notice that I have a southern accent. My speech pattern is wrong for being southern. I speak too fast.
Yo, bro.
Which is more
It was
over.
not you.
Jack.
Okay. Come on. I'm gonna put the answers up here in a minute.
Yeah.
You're a pest. Who else has a question?
Wait, neither. What does that mean?
Huh? Neither means you wouldn't, it will not gain or lose any electrons. It already has 8, so it won't lose or gain anything.
Where do I put
So its oxidation number will be 0.
Okay. and what
And it
about-
will not have an ion. You can put Na or just draw a line for nothing. Put none. Huh? You put it up there.
What was wrong?
What?
Okay, I'm gonna graduate.
You can put it down there if you didn't graduate.
I'm gonna graduate this year.
Okay, those questions.
Nice. If they do, then I'm gonna.
Okay, so that comes from the oxidation number. So if the oxidation number is 0, it won't have an ion. If you have like a positive oxidation number, it will be positive.
No.
If you have a negative oxidation number, it will be negative. Okay?
So if it loses, the type of ion is negative?
Yes, if you have a negative oxidation number, it's a negative ion.
My best friend Jose is in here.
That's great.
Why she's lonely.
No, because Jose was about to start training that.
Well, you ever take that?
Yeah, at home I do. I don't generally take them to class. Naps are a wonderful thing.
I think that's are kind of dumb. Waste of time.
Okay?
Like, you can sleep at night, right? Why would you sleep in the day?
Look at you.
You can be doing stuff like tired.
Yeah. I did.
I mean, I don't take naps often, but on the rare occasion I get one, I think they're fabulous.
I take a nap.
It's not time back up yet.
I sleep for like 7 hours.
I think we should take
No,
a nap
yeah,
and see if it's really.
That was my slowest hit.
I guess I should just be thankful he did some work.
There you go.
Maybe he should stay down there with you if you didn't actually do some work.
I told him.
No, because he won't do any work for me.
I told him he didn't catch up, so he getting that. We'll see.
I said old work.
I can't promise.
I mean, honestly, it gets boring. Anyway, so like, it makes you want to be work. I don't know if he's down there like a teacher right now. Are you good? If they don't let you sleep.
I thought you were gonna
Well, they take his cell phone, so maybe he is bored senseless.
I mean, like, see, whenever I was down there, like, I could sleep.
I miss sports.
Well, they do take his cell phone. I don't know if he can sleep, but he can't have his phone.
Move so much.
I'm just trying to move, guys. I'm getting a move. I'm just.
Mario,
Yeah.
stop that crap.
I'm getting a move. I'm getting throw a beat. And I can't get that.
You're used to it.
All right, so let me minimize this for a second. Let's turn on the projector. Let me find my answers. All right, where are the answers? There they are.
Remember one time I was little farm was run over a bird, and then when the cut off, so Saturday. It was flying low. I know it's going. It don't so try to go up.
That bird would be.
Can't see that.
I'll make it bigger.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the answers. Check, see what you got.
I got it right.
All right. All wrong.
All right, now, like I was telling you, Relly, about the helium answer, a lot of you probably put 8 right here, but helium is an exception. It only has 2 electrons total, okay? So you have 2 electrons. Can you have 8 in the outer shell if you only have 2?
No.
So it's an exception. It only has 2 valence electrons. Even though it's in group 18, there are only 2 electrons in the outer shell. If you wrote 8, I understand why you did that because it's in group 18, but it's an exception. It only has 2 electrons in the outer shell.
Kind of like.
I know.
Wow.
But it's there because its outer shell is full. Doesn't have 8. But check your answers and see how you did. You don't have to run them down, Esella. Just check the ones you did. Because we're not going to finish it. I know, I'm going to slide it up in a minute.
Phosphorus.
Just check the ones you did.
Phosphorus.
Okay? Check the ones you did.
Mine are right.
Phosphorus.
Good.
Phosphorus.
All right, check the ones you did. Because we're going to move on to naming. We're going to write formulas here in a minute.
How's it not even one?
That's why I asked question marks. I didn't know if we were going to get to it based on time. So.
We got to like.
That's okay. Check the ones you did. You don't have to write down the rest of it. Just check what you actually did.
I put a dash.
That's fine. Nope. It's fine.
don't know.
A dash is fine. All right, are we okay with how to do this? And finding oxidation numbers, finding outer shell electrons, protons, electrons. We're okay with it?
Yes.
What's wrong, Isaiah?
I just messed up all that number of hours. Because I wrote how much you gain or lose.
Oh, okay. How much you gain or lose would be how you find the oxidation numbers. Okay? Yeah, outer shell is how we find the dot diagrams also. All right, are we okay with this?
Probably.
All right. Let's talk about naming.
Talk about it.
All right, we're going to write formulas first. We'll do names last. Although maybe we should do names first. I usually do formulas first. Maybe we should do names first.
You gotta write your name.
I think we might do names first this year.
Exactly.
Oh, not yet. Did you start your paper with them and nudging? Nope. Huh? Did you? Yeah. No. I was gone. I just think
I'm like,
they
starting.
ain't gonna know that. Draft student water.
That's what's named.
All right, we're going to do write names first instead of write formulas first.
Huh?
Why?
You know I decided to change it up. All right, so we're going to. I don't know. I don't think it's one of them. Okay?
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah. All right. So you let me change colors. Write the name of the first element. Okay. Whatever it is, you write its name. Okay. Now, for steps 2 and 3, you have to count capital letters. All right. So you remember on the last test, some of you were like, I don't know, maybe y'all weren't, but fourth period went berserk with this question. They couldn't figure out with the question that had the 2 capital letters and then the one that had a big letter and a little letter. They're like, all the symbols are right. For cobalt, it had 2 capitals, big C, big O, and cobalt had to be a big C with a little O, and they couldn't figure out that cobalt was not big C, big O on one of the test questions. And they had a hissy fit because they couldn't figure out what it was. Okay? Well, fourth period had a stroke because they couldn't figure out what I was asking for there. All right, so you name the first element. Steps 2 and 3 are asking you to figure out if there's 2 capitals or 3 capitals. All right? So in step 2, if there are 2 capital letters, name the second element, add an IDE ending. Okay, and I'll give you some of those spellings in a moment. Now, if, for number 3, if there's 3 capital letters, name using the reference table. Yep, you got to pull it back out. Look up both letters for one name. All right, so you're going to need to find your reference table after you write that down. All right. What are you laughing at? Let me see. And put it up. It better not be some ugly picture of me.
Oh my God.
I've heard videos though of setting the thing on fire. And then Nigel
You have to do examples, right? I don't understand that.
Now, you need to find your orange reference table because this is the last chart on the reference table that we have not learned how to read.
What about the one on the
Stop.
block? Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah. No, I just didn't remember. The green card? No,
Yours is probably green because you swapped it out.
I know which one is what chart. It's like on the back.
Yes. Not your periodic table, it's the reference table.
Oh, this.
Yes.
Old thing.
Like, you got right here.
Right here?
All the atomic guys. All right, everybody finished writing so we can talk about how to do this? What are you going to do after graduation? Yeah, you.
Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
Lord.
maybe like every next
Which means what?
construction.
Oh, okay. Really?
It's easy. Here.
Okay. I didn't know if you were being funny or if that's what you were really planning to do.
I mean, this is alright. I don't want to stay there all day.
Just work half the day and go home?
No, my dad will.
Oh.
That'll be my ride.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I don't want that. I need some samples. All right. So let's say, Mario, do not make me take your phone.
Not even of you.
I don't care. Stop. You probably remember how to do this. They don't know how. The exam is in a couple weeks, and I want them to do well. I need them to make me look good besides. Now, so, even you, because you did so poorly in chemistry. I know, which really probably sucked, because you probably should go great. Which means, because you did so poorly on the chemistry final, you could do so well on this one, you could show huge growth. Okay?
Get 100.
Which would be fabulous, you know, because you really mucked up
Has
the scores.
somebody ever got
in
100?
chemistry. I don't think so.
I'll be the first one.
Boy, yeah, right.
Okay, so we have Na2S.
Oh no.
We want to write its name. All right?
It was like,
I didn't even.
All right.
I just held it like this.
So, Na. Name the first element. What's Na? So you're going to write the name for sodium. So Na is sodium, so you write its name down. You don't have to do anything to it. It's just sodium. Now, steps 2 and 3. You do not do both steps. I'm not teaching her anything. You done? Yo. Fabulous. Sit down. So, you do not do both steps 2 and 3. You have to look at the formula and see how many capital letters you have. So, when you look at the formula, how many capitals are there?
2.
There's 2. So, we're only doing steps 1 and 2. We're not doing step 3 because we don't have 3 capitals. Everybody good on that?
Yeah.
So, if there's 2 capitals, we name the second element and we add an IDE ending. So, what is the second element's name? Sulfur. And so we're going to make it sulfide.
What does that mean? Like,
Okay. Sulfur, and we make it IDE. Okay? We just changed that to IDE. Okay? So common ones that you're going to see is sulfur becomes sulfide, oxygen becomes oxide, phosphorus. Yep. You certainly said it right. Becomes phosphide. Let's see, nitride. Becomes nitride. Now, group 17 is easy to do, so I'm not going to write all those out. I'll just do one. Fluorine, you just change the N to a D. Make it fluoride. All of group 17 works that way. Okay? You just change the N to a D. So chlorine would be chloride, bromide, iodine. They all change the N to a D. Those 4 on the left here are the only ones that are hard for people to spell. Okay? Right. Right. You make it fluoride. So chlorine, you would make what? Chloride.
You don't have no pencils.
This is the only pencil I have, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Try not to snap that one in half. All right, is everybody caught up? Do I need to wait?
We're caught up.
Everybody caught up? You mean waiting so? Malik, you got it? Okay. So let's say I need a reference table so I don't pick ions that are not on it. All right, let's say we have this. Now, if they have parentheses, parentheses should be an obvious, they have 3 elements. Sometimes they'll have parentheses, sometimes they won't, okay? Sometimes it might be like this. Okay, both of those have how many capital letters? Both of them have 3 capitals, okay? But if they have parentheses, those should literally slap you and say, woo, I have 3 letters, okay? You need to use step 1 and step 3, okay? So in both of them, you name the first element. So, if we do the one on the left first, what is the name of the first element? So you write aluminum. Now, step 3, because we have 3 capitals, again, do we do steps 1, 2, and 3? No, we only do step 1 and either step 2 or 3. So we're jumping to step 3. We have 3 capitals. Name using the reference table. Look up both letters for one name. So we're looking up this whole thing right here for its name. So you're looking on your reference table. On the back, there's a chart of names. We look up its name and we just write it down. I've already heard the answer over here on this side. So you look up ClO3 and find its name. And you just look it up and it says chlorate. So you write down chlorate.
Aluminum chlorate?
Yep. You don't change its ending. You don't do anything to it. You write step 3 down.
No, because I thought I had all the games. I thought it was
I'm thinking that in my head. I just didn't say it out loud.
Wow.
Okay, so if you have parentheses, it's obviously going to have 3 capitals. You're going to find its name on the chart. Is everybody okay with that? All right, so in this one, do you have parentheses? No. Still, you have this capital, and that capital. Can everybody see 3 capital letters? Okay, so you do the same thing though. What's NA's name? Sodium.
Flippers.
I skipped it. I didn't think we had time. All right, so after that, even though there's no parentheses, everything else, again, is all together. So, everything together. So what's SO4 together? What'd you say? You just write sulfate. And that's all you do.
This is right name.
That's writing names. Yeah, I put them in different order. I thought it would be easier than the crisscrossing, so I went with easier. Okay? So, all right. So if we do MGF2, how many capitals? 2. So this time, will we look it up on the orange card?
No.
No.
We're looking on here.
Look at all the periodic tables. So what's MG?
She is magnesium.
So magnesium. What's F?
F is for
Fluor.
Right.
All right, it's fluorine, and I do what to it?
Change.
I change it to I. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
All right. You think you can practice it?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to do the odds.
Why?
No, do the evens. Make it the evens. Do the evens. Do the evens.
you would try to hard.
No, they're not hard.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Do the evens. It's only 4. Then we're going to talk about formulas.
No.
Are we done?
No.
Yeah.
I would not.
I'm wondering that same question, but
We only have to do 4 of them. It takes like 1
Trying
second.
to be patient.
1, 8. I might just go if I want to give you. I should put it to mom. That's what I told her.
I call her mom. But it's still.
all right, we're there.
I'm there.
You said no, and what number are you on?
It was Mario. This was nice.
Mario don't count.
Questions here.
I don't care what Mario has to say.
Shut up.
All right, so number one. Or really
Number
two.
two.
All right. Manganese.
Oxide.
Very good. Number 4.
Sodium fluoride.
Sodium fluoride. Number 6.
Magnesium fluoride.
Magnesium chlorate. And number 8.
Sodium phosphate.
Very good. All right. Now we're going to talk about how to write formulas. We may or may not finish this part today, but we're going to give it a old college try. All right. That's where I need to be. You do not have to draw this. Okay? That's up to you. All right. I'm going to put it in because that's important. All right. So tell me what the oxidation number is for group 1. Positive 1. Group 2. Group 13. Group 14. Positive or negative 4. Group 15. Group 16. Group 17. And 18. Okay. So in order to write formulas, those are the numbers we have to use. Okay. So the steps go like this. Number 1, look up the symbols. Now, I always include that step because a lot of you don't know the symbols. Okay? As soon as you write down the wrong symbol, the answer is wrong. There's no partial credit in naming and in writing formulas. So when we take the quiz later in the week, if you write down fluorine as FL, it's wrong. The formula for fluorine is F. Sodium is Na. Some of you will write S. Some of you will write SO. They're both wrong. Sodium is Na.
If y'all want to cheat, just look right there.
Why? I'm going to give you a table. You don't have to look up there. I'm going to hand it to you. It'll be in front of you.
But it's funner to look at.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie,
funner.
I cheated
Funner's not a
on that.
word.
See where the stack is for fun.
Okay? Now,
No, but to see what comes.
determine the oxidation number. Positive element is first. Negative element is last. Don't you owe me time?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Probably this one.
Yep. You owe me time with this one. All right. So the positive element is first. The negative element is last. All right. Number 3. Crisscross the number, not the sign. And the last one, reduce if necessary.
Is that it?
Yes.
Take a picture. 'Cause I am trying to draw that. Thank you. I need to go to Walmart. I got charger.
All right, are we all caught up with my notes?
Yes, it was.
So we can talk about how to do this. Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, see how much space I have. All right. So let's say that we're doing sodium oxide. I already put examples in on this page. All right, so what is NA's symbol?
Sodium.
Okay, so we write Na. What is oxide's symbol? Doesn't matter that it's IDE. What's its? It's oxygen. So what's its symbol? Okay, everybody good with the symbols? All right, this is why we learned how to tell oxidation numbers a while ago. So what is NA's oxidation number based on the group it's in? Positive 1. And what is oxygen's oxidation number based on the group it's in? All right. Is everybody okay with symbols and oxidation numbers?
Yes.
Because that part should largely be reviewed.
How's this formula?
Are we okay with that? All right, this is the new piece. Some of you may have seen this in middle school if you had a real teacher. Okay, if you had no real teacher, then you would not have done this. Okay, but if you had a real teacher, you did. This is called crisscrossing. So you would take this one that's on NA, the positive doesn't matter, the negative doesn't matter. So just get rid of it. Okay, so the positive, or the one that's on NA goes over to the O, and the 2 that's on O goes over to the NA. They crisscross, they change elements. Does that make sense? It's a shorthand technique. Okay? Some teachers won't teach it this way. They refuse. They make people work it out longhand. I just refuse to make people do it longhand. Okay? So, what do we get when we rewrite it?
NA201.
All right, so this is just like math class. In math class, do you write X to the first or do you write X? We do the same thing in science class. So am I going to write the 1 on the O? No. Now, if you need to write it as Na201, I'm not going to mark it wrong. But am I going to write the O with a 1? No. I'm not going to write the 1. But if you need to write it, it's fine. But I'm not going to do it. Okay? Because I want you to get used to seeing it written correctly. All right, so aluminum chloride. What is aluminum? What is chloride? Okay, so again, find the oxidation numbers. What is aluminum? Look at the periodic table. Where do they fall in the groups? Is what? It's +3. What's chlorine? -1. And again, do we need the positive and the negatives? So I'm going to scratch those out. When we crisscross, we don't need the positives. You're only using that to make sure positives first, negative is last. Okay, so the 3 goes where? After the CL. And the 1 goes where? After AL. So you end up with AL, CL, 3.
Wait, how do you know if to put I or A on?
I would only have 2 capitals. So if you were writing the names, you'd put IDE because there's only 2 capitals. You'd put 8 if it had 3 capitals.
Oh, we just went over that.
Yes, we did.
You go back for negative.
Where to go back?
Just go back.
Go back here.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you do that one for me? Just practicing writing with 2 elements. I'm sorry. Still got a minute before it goes off on my watch yet, but go ahead. Yep, even on Saturday and Sunday. Won't quit till June 7th. You got it? All right, so what was MG? What was sulfide? So you got Mg2S2. All right. What's step 4 tell us? What are you going to do when you have two 2s? What would you do in math class if you had 2 over 2? They would simplify to 1 over 1, right? So what do you suppose happens in science class when you have 2 and 2? They cancel out. So this reduces to 1 and 1, and you get MgS. Did anybody do that? No? Okay.
So it'll just be.
If you wrote 1 and 1, it's fine, but it should reduce to MgS. All right, so we have one last thing to talk about. Oh, shush. All right, so this says 2 elements, right?
No.
Everything I gave you was 2 capital letters. Have we done anything that has something on your reference table?
No.
Let's talk about that.
No.
Oh, no.
I thought I'd kill you.
I know. I don't know how she survives. All right, so suppose I have AL. I have that. Oops, I'm writing names again. Scratch that. I got to write the name. Forgot which one I was doing. All right, we got to write the formula. All right, so I wrote a name. And y'all have to write the formula. All right, so aluminum is what? Okay. Now, sulfate. Everything that we just did, if I go back here, what do they all end in? Does it end in "ide"? Tells you it's on the reference table. If you're not sure if it's on the reference table, you only have 8 on the reference table. You could very easily look real quick and go, oh, it's on the reference table. And if it's not, then you can go to the periodic table. Okay? So what is sulfate's formula? SO what?
4.
It has a 4 on it, right? Now, because you don't look it up on the periodic table, what's its oxidation number written at the top? It has a 2. You don't even need to know it's negative. It's a 2. All right, what's aluminum's oxidation number? Remember, we got a crisscross. I heard it, Isella. 3. All right, now, here's the new step. When you get something off the reference table, you have to put in parentheses. Okay? Okay? All you got to do is put in parentheses when you get it off the reference table. That's it. Everything else still works the same way. You're still crisscrossing. So, where is this 3 going to go? Where the SO is. This 3 is coming all the way over here to on the SO. And where's the 2 going? All the way to the AL. Good, Najee. So now all you have to do is rewrite it.
So we don't do it again before.
Nope. So AL has what on it? 2. I still write parentheses. What's inside? SO what? 4. What's outside? The 3 is outside. The stuff that's in the parentheses you can't touch. Okay? You can't do anything with what's in the parentheses. You leave that be. Okay? All you do is crisscross the oxidation numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You think you can practice?
No.
All right,
No, you don't need no practice on this. Come on.
I'm about to pack
We have
up.
5 minutes left. Do 2 and 3. Do this one and this one.
That's it.
Just do those, and then I'll hand out the homework while you're doing it.
Homework.
Homework.
Oh, no.
You got to practice naming. You cannot get good at it unless you practice. Stop lying. It's not a practice. Do you want homework, Peggy? Yeah, you. Okay.
Go ahead.
I knew he wasn't going to do it. He was going to lose it. He didn't even bring a bag of class as far as I know. The rest of you guys do those too. I'll stop complaining about being cold. You don't want homework?
What is this homework?
Gotta write formulas and names.
That is too much.
Yes, it's all.
No, half of
This is my
it.
It won't be the first time somebody didn't bring homework back from Markel. I'm sort of used to it.
It's gonna be something done, but it
Won't be the first time.
You get a 50.
Yeah. All right, find me two answers. Hurry up.
I kinda gave up, so this wrong. This is ridiculous.
Why you sound like
He's
you're like some
He's
person
obviously-
in the movies when you're walking in John instead of.
All right, so in question 1. Did you find the symbols?
Yes, I did.
MG.
and parentheses and parentheses
ClO3. All right, so what's MG's oxidation number? And what's this one's?
1.
Okay, so we put parentheses. What's the 1 do?
It goes down by MG.
And what's the 2 do?
Goes down by ClO.
Now, if you don't want to write the 1, you don't have to.
Yeah, I didn't write that.
That's fine. I wouldn't write the 1, but I wasn't going to yell at anybody for having it. All right, so what's strontium?
As well.
Okay, what's its oxidation number?
2. I think.
Thank you.
It is 2. All right, anybody found acetate?
That C2H3O2.
The bill doesn't.
We have 3 minutes. I don't know what they're all packing up for.
Back up.
Now, on that sheet, there's 2 columns. The first column asks you to write the formula. The second column asks you to write the name. So if you'll find the name and the formula, please, I would appreciate it. I even wrote the oxidation numbers down, so you don't have to find the oxidation numbers.
Thank you.
Okay? All you have to do is crisscross. Tomorrow, we'll do it the hard way where you got to look it up.
Oh,